Good morning, High Tides. Hope you had a wonderful early release. This week's Beach Film News episode is dedicated to someone's retirement from Beach High. If you're wondering who that is, let's go find out.
My name is Lourdes Nunez.
Miss Nunez.
Miss Nunez.
Miss Nunez.
Miss Nunez.
Miss Nunez.
I've known her since I started. So she was here since I started maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, for more than 20 years. I have been known, since she came here, so over 20 years.
I have known Mrs. Nunez now for 16 years.
I've known Lourdes Nunez since, I want to say 97, 98. I know she came to school in 96, but I think I first met her in 97 or 98.
I came from Havana, Cuba in 1965. Actually, January 29th, 1965. We had to come through Mexico because there were no direct flights to the States. We arrived in Mexico on January 6th. It was a day of Magi. There was a lot of candy, pastries, lights. People were really happy on the streets, and it was mind-boggling for me because I left Cuba. We didn't have any lights. They would turn off the lights in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night. They would turn off the water in the middle of the day or whenever they felt like it. So you may be taking a bath and the lights would go out. I remember my dad flushing dollars because of the change of currency. If you had more than, I don't forget what amount of money at home, they would take you to jail.
If I could choose one word to describe Miss Nunez, it would probably be passionate.
Kindness.
One word to describe Miss Nunez would be legend. She's a rock star. She is someone everybody knows. She's touched so many lives, and she really knows how to have fun with that tambourine. She's a legend.
Generous human being, and very generous human being.
Super involved. I know that's 2 words, but involved would be that word, because I know she, pays attention to the students, and she's in, other activities that she likes to be involved in at the school.
I was homeschooled, and the militia came to our house and told my parents that she either goes to school or you go to jail. When I started school, we had to wear like what's called a pionero outfit, which resembles the Girl Scouts. When I got to the States and I saw the Girl Scouts outfits, I nearly freaked out because I thought, oh my God, the same thing all over again. I had to learn the language. I was called a Cuban clown by our physical education teacher. I was beaten up in 8th grade by this really big black young lady, and when I went to administration, they didn't do anything about it. She ended up sitting next to me at typing at Coral Gables High School, and I nearly had a fit. I ended up being her friend because she couldn't type, and I was really fast at typing, so I would type all her work for her because I play piano and guitar. I was really upset that my parents brought me to the States because I had to leave my house, had to leave my piano lessons, had to leave my ballet lessons. I was in a place that they gave me a tray, and I had to eat this food that tasted like I don't know what, because it didn't taste like the way I used to eat at home, and I had to adapt. Nevertheless, I am extremely, extremely appreciative to this country. What I'm trying to say, if you want to, you can get ahead. My parents installed that the only thing that they cannot take away from you is your education. They took away everything, but they cannot take away your education.
I'll begin by saying one of the best memories that I've had with Miss Nunez is the fact that she's always on the stage whenever there's a performance. She is, I would call it the life of the party because she's a true musician at heart. If there's a performance, she's on the stage and she's playing her tambourine and she's singing songs and making melodies, and just a very, very happy camper.
You could recite an event.
Probably the first time she got on stage and played the tambourine with us, because I was really taken aback. I was like, whoa, new member, all of a sudden.
I feel like my favorite memories of Miss Nunez are just the kind of day-to-day type of things. She has so much enthusiasm, and so whether it's an announcement for the class that she is counseling for, or whether it's you know, her work around graduation, whether it's a conversation in the hallway, the passion that she brings to her job and is just awesome.
I have never, in all my experience of 27 years in teaching, I have never experienced a counselor that has a feeling for both the student and the teacher to make a consensus to level them, both the teacher and the student, to the very best that they can do both. And she's very caring about, you know, her job, and she kind of, it's always in the middle, trying to make both, you know, a perfect place for the student to actually survive in the school system.
I think it was 1959. I was born in 56. So I guess 3 years old when the whole regime changed. It did not get worse until 1960. Then came the missile crisis, and that's why we were not able to come to the States in October of '62. I was missing so much because I still had my piano lessons, because I still went to ballet. Part of my reality was not touched at all. They would just tell me, oh, they're turning off the water, don't worry about it, we have enough water to bathe today. They turn off the lights, so we turn on the candles. So they try to make it as pleasant for me, Davy and my parents, as they could. I lived in a neighborhood called Lauton, between 10 de Octubres and Delicias. I have no idea what I'm saying. I've never gone back to Cuba. I only have one brother who just turned 70. He's the psychologist, the neuroscientist, and I have one nephew who's an artist who's 34. When we got here, we lived with our family members. There were 8 of us. 4 of them slept in the back room and 4 of us in the living room. We basically stayed in the same neighborhood all our lives. My mom and aunt, may they rest in peace, bought a little condo, and I owned the condo. It's 4 blocks away from the Gables. I started school at Arbondale Elementary. I went to Arbondale, we went to Kinloch. From Kinloch we went to Ponce de Leon Junior High because of integration, and then I ended up in Gables. It was our physical education teacher that used to call us our Cuban clown. And he stopped calling us Cuban clowns when all these other Cubans showed up that knew how to do PE. I had never climbed a rope in my life, so I didn't have the strength in my arms to go up the rope. And then he would bring up this paddle and, you know, hit me because he thought I was making fun of the PE or whatever thing that we had to do. And I just was not making fun. I couldn't go up the rope. I was like Tarzan. The education was a lot more behind in the United States than it was in Cuba. I have no idea why, but it was.
Miss Nunez is hysterical, and I would also call her Mrs. Tambourine Woman.
We've had some good trips with the rock ensemble, New York, Orlando, for sure New York. I know she was on that one. And a lot of concerts here at school where she is now an honorary rock ensemble member. Some people know that, but now everybody knows. And she is the tambourine player, at least on one song, for any of the big concerts we have here at school.
The greatest member that rock ensemble will ever have.
The life of the rock ensemble. Tambourine.
I mean, from the perspective of a staff member, with Miss Nunez not being here. I think that it's a loss that is not replaceable.
The worst thing about my job is doing all the schedule changes and leveling and not being able to really talk to the students. The best thing about my job was a standing ovation in 2017 by the entire graduating class. I knew them by first name, last name. I had a kid that I knew his ID number, 390-5801.
And who was that student?
Daniel Di Matteo. He graduated I don't know how many years ago, and he's a lawyer right now.
Can you tell me what was one of the funniest stories in all your years?
The funniest stories are plenty. We did a lot of shows with Mr. Coben, with Miss Legree. We danced to, I don't know, many tunes, and we used to get dressed up, and it was a blast.
Describe your job in one word. Can you tell me what that word is?
Patience. Patience with our students, patience with our parents, be able to disseminate the information that they need in order to be successful in life.
Be happy and be yourself as you have been so far. Stay well. Bye-bye.
Ms. Nunez, since the moment we met, you've been open and free, and you always have your door open to people, and you are truly a very capable and fun-loving and great spirit. We're gonna miss you. You represent everything that Beach High has ever been, which is a place where people can be themselves, fulfill their dreams, and go on to shine their light somewhere else. And that's what you're gonna do now. You won't be here with us, but your spirit will remain. And I will think of you every time I see the Rock Ensemble play. I will miss you very much, and thank you for all the memories.
I want to give a shout out to Miss Nunez. Miss Nunez, you're about to graduate. It's been a graduate. Probably feels like that for you. You're about to retire from Beach High. I'm so used to graduating from Beach High. You're about to retire from Beach High. It's probably been a long career for you. You're an original.
Miss Nunez, we will miss you dearly. You will not be forgotten. You're always welcome back here, but you will be greatly missed.
Miss Nunez, I remember the Rock Ensemble sit-ins with you, your great enthusiasm, how you love all the kids that you handle through the years. I'm sure that me and the rest of the students will miss you so much.
Miss Nunez, enjoy retirement. This is something you deserve. It's time to relax, enjoy, go to concerts every day, listen to music, spend time with your significant other, and just enjoy time.
Okay. Well, Lourdes, enjoy your retirement. You deserve it. You've put in a lot of time. You've had a lot of fun. You're going to have a lot of great memories. And just know that a lot of people love you, and we're going to miss you.
Ms. Nunez was an amazing and irreplaceable staff member here at Beach High. Her lasting impact and immense influence are just some of the reasons why we'll never forget her. So, Ms. Nunez, on behalf of everyone here at Beach High, we wish you the best on your new journeys, and we hope you come back and visit.